I can make it better. Maybe I'll beg them to do more open classes.
More of those.
Story time.
Yeah. Hi, Cherry.
Good morning.
How are you doing over there?
I'm good. I'm tired. I was unpacking till late last night.
Oh, yeah, because you're moving as well, aren't you?
We moved, yeah. So I'm trying to put everything back together.
Where are you located now? Which state is it? Virginia, right?
Virginia now. But all the way at the bottom on the ocean.
Okay. All right. How is everything with the hurricane? Are you guys getting any flooding, or is it only North Carolina?
Right now, North and South Carolina.
Okay. So for you, the wind?
We're still okay. Yeah, we were supposed to get wind and rain, but then it went south, and we were.
That's good for you, at least. Not for the ones with the lower part than you, but yeah, it is terrible. It is terrible. How many do you guys get a year? Is it one year? No.
It used to be less frequently.
Yeah.
And now it's extremely frequent.
Yeah,
This
and Rita was
area
saying that it's getting bigger and bigger at the same time, right? Because right now where Cherry lives, they have a hurricane, just like in the south of China. They have to.
Now,
they
south
have
of
to
China was more people died so far, though. That was very serious.
Yeah. And then there was something also in Japan, was it 2 weeks ago, right? My friend lives in Osaka, and she was going through also, I'm not sure if it was a hurricane or an earthquake or something like that. Terrible. It just keeps on, end of the summer, it just keeps on going in every part of the world. It's crazy. Crazy. Anyways, we'll start, I guess, since we're already 5 of us. So the update that we have is about what the new program is going to be like. Unfortunately, Arthur was going to join us, but he left already.
Is he R&D? Is he research and development, Arthur?
Yeah, he is. Yeah. But we did discuss with him yesterday, so he explained to us what everything is going to look like, and he did not give us a number in terms of when it's going to start, how many classes. All of that is still unknown. But as much as the program goes, it is going to look a lot like Arse, which is another online teaching company.
Okay, let me write that down. Could you repeat
the
that?
name of the company, if you want to look it up, it's called Arse. So it's SHIERSI.
Okay.
And so what they do is they also do online teaching, just like VIP Kids, just like we do. But what they use is they have an app on the computer and on the phone as well, where it will be a recording of a teacher giving out a lesson. And then on that app, there is a moment where the teacher says, now it's your turn to repeat if you want to have a point. And then you will be able to record yourself as a student saying the sentence or the word, and you'll get a number of points depending on how good you were saying the sentence. Now, what I asked, yes, so the company is called Arse. I'll just type it in the comments. So it's SHIERSI, right? Oh, it's, trick. Okay, all right, my bad. We could trust Amy over there because she's the one who speaks fluent Chinese, which makes more sense because I always thought "sure" means 10, but there's no point in it. Okay, all right. So on the app, you will have the possibility to be talking at the same time as the lesson is going. Now, what is happening is that there are tech guys who work on how it is that you get points depending on how you talk. So you'll basically be evaluated by a computer, but there are ratios that are made by the staff that is here in China. And you'll get, let's say, 2 points if it's fairly good, and then you'll get 10 points if your English was perfect. this is how it's going to work. So this is how it works in Sharjah. This is how it's going to work for us as well in the future. This is going to be for open classes. Arthur was saying that for now we are looking to have open classes where there are thousands, 2,000, 3,000 students at the same time looking at the lesson. So at first it will be live and then we'll go to recorded lesson, unfortunately.
So
in terms of taking care of the students, you guys would just be giving out the lesson, and then there would be assistants are going to deal with the students, but here in China. They will be native Chinese assistant teachers or teaching assistants. So there is no interaction with the students. There is no, basically you would just be giving out the lesson like an actor. That's what we were scared of, but that's what they are looking for at the moment.
And then once they're all recorded, there's no need for us anymore because they're recorded and they can just keep playing the same recordings to new generation students.
And so in terms of teachers, they have not told us yet how many teachers they need, what the teachers are going to be doing in terms of recordings. We know that for now it's live and then later on it will be recorded, but we don't know when that's going to happen. We also asked about one-on-one and one-on-six, and Arthur was saying that these are going to come back, but not this year. Potentially in 2 years? 2 years. Yeah, within 2 years. So that would mean that for now, the focus of the company is to make money, focus on giving out classes that are big to have a lot of students rather than giving out elite classes with a good level of teaching and a good level of English coming from the teacher. Yes. The platform will be the same as the one that we used for the summer camp. It will just be developed a little more so that it can include the whole, like speaking part of the lesson where the student will be speaking to the phone and then that will be analyzed. But it's the same platform as summer camp.
We have an app here in North America, Duolingo. It's just that. It's just free. It's free.
Exactly.
You learn all this. You speak into, and you know what? I speak Spanish with no accent. And when I speak Spanish to the computer, sometimes it marks me wrong.
Yes.
And I said it correctly with no accent.
Exactly.
So even the automated computers have their flaws with this.
Yeah. I mean, even for, yesterday, he made us try the app. I don't know what's the highest score, but when I was being recorded, I did not know that I was being recorded. So I said something completely different. Then I repeated the sentence, but within seconds, not really paying attention, I still had a score of 95. So if it's over 100, right?
Good job!
Yeah, you get a reward. Good job. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. For now, we don't know if Mac will be fixed to be able to use it. They are still working on the platform though. So I'm pretty sure that by the time they're going to start the new program, they are going to be able to have Mac and then also old computers, because I know that that was the case with Todd, for example. His computer was considered too old for the platform. And also for, maybe potentially countries like, continents like South America for Nora, because I know that she was not able to teach there because of that. So, yeah. But then
I was not expecting this direction.
Me neither. And I told Arthur because I know coming back from this meeting that we had on Monday morning, I was very excited. Amy as well. We were, willing to give out the ideas and we thought it was pretty great. And then I literally explained to him we should go for a program where they are learning everything for the tests for universities and everything like that. And he looked me in the eyes and said, yes, but nowadays you use internet to speak English. And I looked at him and I was like, oh my God. Yeah. So he defended himself saying that these are the decisions from higher positions in the company and he's just following it, which I'm pretty sure is the case. but they are just the bosses from this company, Ichiswaye, they are coming from Shuearse. So they're basically copy pasting what they had over there, but making it their own so that they can make more money. Which is very sad to say because I still work for this company, but I want to be, you know, as clear as possible with you guys. I don't want you guys to have your expectations too high. How did I get a 95 score on this question? I don't know. Expectations too high, you know. And I want you guys to be aware that for the next 2 years, it would be open classes only with very simple English.
How like with the app, it's not based on your age, it's based on your ability. So is that how so you could have, you know, a 14-year-old on level 1, or you can have a 5-year-old on level 10.
Yes,
is that how the app is? So we're just going to have level 1, level 2, level 3 recordings.
Exactly. It would be basically the same as the app that you were mentioning, Duolingo, where if your level is good, no matter your age, you'll be in a higher level. And then if you are a beginner, no matter if you're 5, 14, or 50, you'll be in the lower level. But then again, the classes are very basic. It is a mix of Duolingo and Dora the Explorer put together, where you will have a person saying, speak, and that's recorded.
So what is our target age demographic? What are we aiming for here?
It would be the same as now, I believe, for the
so up to 12 years
old. So from 6 to 12, maybe they'll push up until 14, but 15 actually.
I can't see 6-year-olds and 12-year-olds being entertained the same way in the same recording.
No.
12-year-olds in China, 12-year-olds are very mature. They don't like the cartoons and the gimmicks and the
exactly.
Especially my 12-year-old boys. My 12-year-old boys are not.
No, it's very different depending on the age. He only showed us one video, but the level was very basic, and it was basically a person who, I assume he is an English teacher because he was able to explain everything, but it was more of an acting role more than a teaching one. And basically he was in front of a green screen and just, you know, showing around and using a little remote to change the slides of what was being shown behind him. Nicole is asking, will there be an app developed for mobile devices and for teachers and students? We do not know yet because the project is still at the very base of it. So we do not know how it's going to be developed, how long it's going to take, and when we will be using all of this. Because then again, as we were mentioning yesterday with Amy, the new boss is not here yet. He or she will be here in 2 weeks. So until then, no decision is made. And then even when she or he is here, everything will be discussed again, I'm pretty sure, so that she is up to date with what's going on here.
If these are recorded, I can only see you having not even a handful of teachers because
I mean,
you can one teacher can just record for 2 weeks and have your whole
you could have a man and a woman to have some diversity in it, and then that would be it, maybe 2 sets, 2 couples, and that would be it, just to be able to record maybe different levels or different skills, or we don't even know if there are going to be any specific classes such as phonics or grammars or anything like that.
How are they? Okay, well, it sounds like it's a very closed, it feels like it's over. And I think they're going to have to hand select who they're going to want to be their face. Because if they only have 2 faces, they have to carefully select who those faces are going to be for them.
Exactly.
Because that's all their money. Their money is coming from 2 faces.
Exactly. And even when, we were trying to tell him about how as much as open classes are good, if they're not good quality, you'd rather have one-on-one, but 100 classes of one-on-one than one open class with 3,000 students in it, because you would make more money as long as the quality is there. And I feel like what the problem is that either Arthur or the boss, or both of them together, they do not really analyze what the public is looking for in terms of what they want, what they expect from the classes. Because it's not about paying money to put your kid in front of a TV to watch a lesson, because otherwise they do it for free on the internet and, you know, on TV and everything like that. They should focus more on what specifically they are looking for and the quality of it, because otherwise this is just going down the drain, I think, personally. That's my humble opinion. So if we make a recording, that recording can be used again and again. So I get paid once for the recording, but the company will be paid for the use of the recording over and over. Or we will get paid each time the recording is watched. We do not know, unfortunately. He was saying that for now the classes are going to be live, and then slowly they will move to recordings. But he did not tell us. He did not tell us a lot of information. To be honest, the fact that he's not here right now is kind of like, you know, running away from trying to explain. But we will try to push again this week and then try and get information. And any little information that we get, we'll share with you guys, because we want you guys to know what is going to happen, because it's your future more than the one of the company that is important. Mm-hmm.
In 2 years, we're probably going to be making money for somebody else.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was telling him, you know, when yesterday when he was saying, oh, we will start again 1-on-1 and 1-on-6, but in 2 years, I told him, I was like, the teachers are not going to wait for you for 2 years. They are going to work for other companies if that's not already the case, because, I mean, they love what they're doing, but they can't wait 2 years just for you to figure out what is going on. 2 years is a long time. It's not 2 weeks. And you guys have already been waiting for 3 weeks. So
yeah. 2 years is we're going to be deep into another program. We're not going to leave, because we're going to be we're going to have a future. We even in 2 years, we're not promised a future. We're just promised there might be something.
Exactly.
And the bottom up. And now this company is establishing a record of not following through. So we've already been giving and giving and giving, and it's going to be more difficult to trust.
Considering the last events, it is very hard to trust on both sides, you know, on your sides as teachers, but also for us too, working with you guys, because we're basically the link between you and the other guys. And every time we get an information, we'll just look at each other and say, this is not good. So, you know, this side is not going to like it, and then this side is not going to like it, but we still have to communicate the informations. But it's a struggle not to, well, we have to just like fit up, but it's very annoying because we do not agree with that. I mean, the second we got out of the meeting room with Arthur, we just looked at each other and, you know, we were trying to think of a way to bring it out to you guys so that, I mean, you would have all of the information, but also you wouldn't feel like, you know, we're just letting you down, because this decision is not on our side, but still it's the company that we work for all together. So it's a very tricky situation, I think.
Every time when we ask him about how can we solve this kind of problem in teaching, and his answer always is technically you can solve the problem. So he relies on the AI things too much.
Yeah, he relies on IT only.
Yeah. It's not real teaching. It's not real teaching.
It's funny that what we originally signed up for and left our other companies, we left companies to come to UStalk because of the attraction of what it was offering, what it stood for, the environment, the way we were treated as individuals, not just a numbered teacher, is gone. It's all gone. In fact, now I find it's almost worse than the last company I worked for, because artificial intelligence is not what we wouldn't go to school to become trained to do what we do if we were going to be phased out by apps and computers. And don't get me wrong, they're fabulous. I use them too. I have used them, but they can only help you so far. And
it would be in addition to proper teaching.
It's just a supplemental form of that education. You know, it's something they can do, you know, oh, they're homesick from school in bed. You know, there's no classes right now because the schools are closed. English schools open at night. They could run their app, they can play, they can, you know what I mean, things like that. They can have activities. They're useful, they serve their purpose.
Nicole is saying, is there a chance that they will be just using the recordings rather than recording new videos? Considering the company, considering how it is turning out to be with the new team, so Arthur included and the bosses, in my humble opinion, what I think they will do is they will do live classes for maybe 6 months, then go to recordings, and then they will use every single recording that you guys will be doing without paying you for those. They will pay you once, but they will not give you money for every single student who is watching the recording, in my humble opinion, because I've seen that in other companies. Yeah.
Where there should be royalties. If every time our faces, we are the license, like we are what you are using, we are your promotion.
Exactly. Especially if
advertising and those types of things, but we're not getting paid, and you used our face.
Yeah, especially if in the future there is a team with a limited amount of maybe foreign workers or workers from China who speak English and are willing to communicate with you, who will be the link between you and the bosses. I think it will be very difficult for you to try and negotiate for the recordings to be paid, all of those, each time they are played, or even for you to be able to, you know, have information on what is being done with the recordings, who they're sent to, or how long they will be using those for. So it is a little, well, to be honest, I am very disgusted with the way everything is turning out. But I mean, you know, that's just my humble opinion.
It's not your fault. It's not you. The fact that you're still sitting there helping us understand what's happening, it's valuable information. It's allowing us to make our educated decisions, because this is our life. For them, it's just a business venture. But for us, we do this to pay our bills. And even now, they don't seem concerned with the teacher aspect of it, which they should be, because that's who makes you the money. Like they're not concerned with preserving the relationships with the teachers. Like they didn't say to you, please ask the teachers, can we contact them in 2 years? They didn't say.
Oh, it's cutting. We're losing you, Cherry. Is it from my side, or is it because the internet should be good on this side. The Wi-Fi does not start working usually, so it should be, maybe.
Okay, we're back.
Okay,
we're back.
It was cutting. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I had something that I wanted to say and I forgot it again. Yes, I remember now. Even when you take a look at right now the situation that is going on, when we are having meetings, when we are talking to our teachers, it is not all of you guys. It is a few that we selected because you guys have been here for a long time. You guys are good teachers, and you know, you guys are. The rest of the teachers were not considered by the boss. He handpicked from reputation. So, oh, Cherry is a good teacher, we'll keep her. Kendall is a good teacher, we'll keep him, blah, blah, blah. For all of the teachers who are in the group right now, which is called new flipped QQ group, I believe. But all of the rest of the teachers, we do not have any information for them at the moment in terms of when the classes are going to start. We are giving them flipped classes, but in terms of do we know if other than flipped classes we are going to offer them anything else? We do not know. And then we are told to wait. So these teachers are coming to us saying, oh, you know, I have this and that, or like I have my bills to pay, or this happened and I need to find a job, or I need to work. And we just have to tell them very politely, I am very sorry, but I do not have anything for you. So if you want to resign, you are allowed to, but for now we are just keeping you in that basket until they decide if we need you or not, which is just the human aspect of it is completely gone. Completely.
And they didn't even mention the compensation, like what kind of pay they expect to have, and for these recordings. I mean, I can understand if they're going to pay $500 a recording. I get that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if they're going to be paying $12 or $24 or whatever for a recording,
because for
you're
now
going to have a hard time finding a good teacher.
That was a very loud sneeze. No, they're being too loud. Stop sneezing. The only information we have for now at the moment is the one we gave you 3 weeks ago, which is if you are interested to work on open classes, we'll pay you double. But double of what?
And double's not enough.
And then is it open classes live or open classes recordings?
Yeah.
There's a big interrogation point on it. So yeah.
I don't think we can trust a math teacher can run an English department very well. Yeah, he's a math teacher. Yeah, so he doesn't know exactly how to learn a language. This kind of things. So
he understands English perfectly. In terms of talking, he did understand the majority of what I was saying at this speed, talking with the weird accent that I have. But in terms of speaking, there was nothing. So when I told him, I was like, I am very sorry to tell you, but if the students do not learn English, when they will go to another country, they might be laughed at because their English is broken and they will not be able to survive. On paper, yes, because written English is great for Chinese students. They learn all of the words and everything, but speaking, it's a struggle for them. And he looked at me, talked to Amy in Chinese, and then showed me, Google, and he said, but you can learn English on your phone. And I was like, but that's the thing. You are not able to respond to me. You are able to understand, but if every time you have to get your phone out, what if your battery dies? I mean, it's very ridiculous.
If I use that to try to speak Chinese, every time it's wrong. Every time.
I mean, even for them, it has
I would be
here. Yeah. I have had situations with landlords or colleagues where I was trying to translate from English to Chinese, and they would look at me and be like, you just talked about a cow. And I'm like, no, I mean, do you have a pen? Like, literally. And it's just, it's one of those languages where translation is very, very wrong. And you could insult someone without noticing. Yeah. But yeah, he is a math teacher, and I think I also heard that he went to university at age 14. Yeah. But then again, he looks very, very young. He looks like he is 12 years old, so that could have been 2 years ago. I mean, 2 years. He does look very young.
Wow. He's fortunate. Good genetics.
Good genetics. Yeah. Oh. But yeah, that's all the information we have for the open classes.
What is their expectation of us? Do they think we're going to wait? Well, what are they thinking? Because you said the boss handpicked us, so he only handpicked us for flipped, and then after flipped, he's expecting us to leave.
He did handpick you guys also for the open classes because you guys are very good teachers. But I think what they are expecting is, the meeting is almost over. Okay. The meeting is going to be closed very soon. I'll open a new one and then I'll send you the link. What he is expecting you guys to do, I'm pretty sure, is to just wait and work when there will be work, because he does not consider the possibility of you guys working somewhere else. Not as in he does not want that to happen, but as in he thinks the company is so good that you guys will just stick around. And whenever we have classes, you will be looking at us with, you know, like eyes wide open, being like, oh yes, you guys are amazing, kind of thing. I think that's how they see. And then again, when I told him that we could just literally ask a Chinese person with an amazing English living here in China, or even a foreign person here in China to record, he was saying, yes, but we need someone foreign. We need a foreign face to be able to sell our products. But then again, we can find those here in China. So why are they still disrespecting the teachers by making them wait and, you know, not saying anything?
Because like Nick bringing out, they're going to keep making money off of our recordings.
Definitely.
The money will be there to keep compensating us. You know what I'm saying? Every time they play a recording, there should be something in that for us.
That would be the great solution. And that's also, if they are going through with recordings for open classes, that is what we are going to try to have in the end for you guys, you know, paid for the recording, but also paid for every single time it is played. But then again, it's only coming from me, but knowing how big companies work, big companies in China work, they will not be interested in doing that. If they do, it will be the least amount of money that they can give to you.
And that's what my point is. Paying us double for one recording is not close enough to being enough money to keep and keep making money off of it. They can make money off of that recording for 5 years.
Yes, especially when there are 3,000 persons looking at the recording at the same time. You know, it's they should. Well, he's a math teacher, so I hope he can do the math on that one. Right? That's the good part. That's the good part of having him doing the research and development. But yeah, at the moment he was talking a lot about analyzing everything, so I think he's just in the analyzing process, and then he will do the development part of it. But we'll still be here to talk to him and, you know, try and push as much as possible of our ideas, even though he seems pretty closed because he has a set list of what the boss is expecting and he's just going by that. We'll still try to make it the least, well, as good as it can be.
There's only 3 of us here today to hear this. I don't know how many were. I work best with other human beings.
Yeah. I mean, it's very specific, and that's also why I think that they should stick to live classes, because recordings, you know, it's just, you know that it's recorded, and you know that the teachers is always going to do the same, and there's no, the recording that we watched today, you can tell the teacher is good, but he's limited, is in front of the camera, right? So he'll be like, okay, let's do this, but he'll do that every single time, and you know, there is no hi, how are you today with an answer. It's like, hi, how are you today? Okay, great. And if you say I lost my cat, then he will still reply, okay, great. You know, it's it's pretty terrible. I remember when my brother was watching Dora the Explorer or anything like that, no matter what you would say, she would always be like, that's great. And you go, wait, no, that's wrong. That's terrible. That's terrible. I mean, but then again, we'll try and push as much as possible to get answers. And then every single detail that we get along the way, we will give you guys as well. We'll try and get information on when the open classes would start. If it is, you know, by 2019, or if it is next month or next September, you know, so that at least you guys can plan out, okay, if UStalk is not happening right now, I'll still have to work for another company for the next 6 months or something, right?
That's where it is because this kind of does become a loyalty situation. Some schools want you exclusively and do not permit you to teach for others. And that was a comment that she had here, that if our face becomes the public face of the new school, we are no longer marketable to other schools because they see my face.
Yeah.
Thousands and thousands of people have seen this face
Exactly.
associated with this school. This school doesn't want my face because they think my face is now attached to that school.
Exactly. And it's also going to work in terms of contracts. I know, for example, Rita's contract is over by the end of the month. So that will be renewed. Of course, that's no problem. But along the way, you guys, maybe it's going to be next year, but you guys' contracts are going to come to an end. So we need to check with them. Are they renewing those? Are they waiting? And then once they need someone, they will come back to you, or, you know, how all of this is figured out. But he didn't mention this yet. So I guess we'll have to meet with him tomorrow again if he's there.
And the other concern that I have is now we're about to sign contracts with other schools. So we have no other choice, not what I want to do. And their teaching time is peak teaching time.
Yes.
So even if I want to help you, how can I? Because every school wants you peak teaching time.
Exactly.
Very few schools will let you come in and just teach weekends or what have you. They want you every night.
Exactly.
Or at East Coast, Beijing time every night. So these are all things that we're trying to weigh out and balance, that we want to help you too. We want to help you. We don't want to see you.
But it's a sufficient number of hours, right?
But we can't help you now because to sign a contract with another school, we've got to give those time slots possibly to someone else.
Yeah.
And we're starting, and from our position, we're going to have to start from the bottom up in a new school. We have to learn the platform. We have to get comfortable with it. So we need more classes to get to that. Having one here, one there, one here, one there is not going to help us get better with the new school because we're dividing our attention. These are just all things that we're up against, that we're thinking about.
Kendall is saying, Cherry, you and I are both on the front page of the website.
Oh yeah, on
our website?
Yeah, we're on several websites and marketing materials.
Would you mind sending me the link if you have it, either one of you, and then so that I can take a look at that? Or even if you have it on your iPad, that would be even better. I was going to say something. Yes, I sent out the schedules for flipped classes this afternoon. As it is a very complicated schedule to deal with because they just write down one time slot 5 times if it is 5 teachers needed. I might have made a few mistakes here and there, so please double check. If there are any classes you're not available for, let me know. If there are any classes that you are available for but I did not add you on those, do the same as well.
You said you sent that earlier today?
Yeah.
Oh, in the QQ or in
from Zendesk?
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me check my spam.
It's apparently, oh. And Joa here is still there as well. Oh.
I can't see it. I'm sorry. Are you okay?
Yeah. We're just looking at the website because Amy was telling me that right now it is kind of like someone had a very, very messy party and we're cleaning up, but we still find glitter everywhere, you know?
That's such a good analogy.
They had fun. It was amazing, big party, and then now we're the ones cleaning up, but we're finding bits of glitter everywhere because it just sticks, and it is terrible.
Yeah. How did the refrigerator end up in the swimming pool?
Oh my god. And then every single meeting that we are having, I feel like we are making such fools of ourselves because of the company working for, not as individuals, but
yeah, no, you're not though. We we love you. Don't worry.
I agree, Nicole. We could all hug each other. I think we would
Yeah.
start with a warm hug, right?
It's just like you have to have difficult conversations with your parents. You have to have difficult conversations with your children, but you love each other, but the conversations have to be had.
You sit at the table and you're like, we need to talk about this. It's about
You can't
time.
sugarcoat it.
You're old enough.
You're like, I'm sorry, you have a cavity. You have to get a filling. I'm sorry, I love you, but they're going to drill your
promise
mouth.
I'll get you a candy 6 months after, because not right after, of course, right? Dentist, but you will have it. Oh my God. It is terrible. Terrible. Ay, 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 ay.
Well, Sherry, I do have something to share with you guys. You can, I can tell you something from my side as a Chinese working staff here. To be honest, he is okay. He's still on the probation. Okay, right. So from my heart, I really want to protect our program, like Nicole King's study time and Rita's English training camp and flip classes. So we do have 3 months flip classes program, and I just want to try my best to protect it and to make it stretch longer.
I see.
He's still on the probation, right?
Actually,
even he's a boss, and okay.
Not here anymore. But actually, Amy was the one to talk with the flip class team in order to have the classes spread out until January, because originally it was just, we need 20 classes, we need 20 teachers at 7 p.m. on October 11th. And it's like, no.
We don't have 20 teachers.
I wish they could double, but they can't, That's not how it works. It's just
AI.
Oh my God. But so she was the one to, talk to them so that we could have a lot of classes spread out for the whole semester so that you guys could take more classes with us on different times.
No, we do. We appreciate that. And I'm going to try my best to juggle out the two. I have a contract here. You were my first loyalty, even though the ship sank. We're like floating on pieces of lawn of deck chairs. The Titanic already went.
On the door. We need to get on the door, not to freeze it.
We're waiting for the rescue ship to come.
Exactly, that's what it is.
And we're hoping it's a beautiful ship.
John Weston was right when he was picturing the company as the Titanic.
Yeah.
Was. Yeah. I'm glad that we're still able to laugh about the situation, though. Right? Not a lot of teachers would be like, "Oh, I'm losing all of my classes. So much fun," Oh my God! I am so sorry, you guys.
Oh, it's okay. This is nice too. This is, you know what? This is therapeutic.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. You know what the best part is? Some of this, not all of it, was recorded. So if you ever feel down again about UStalk, you can watch it again. We don't pay royalties, though. We don't. Very sorry about it.
I love it. Oh, that's great. All right.
Well,
Thank you for your time. Thank you for the update.
If you
Sorry
have
that
another question.
Mark couldn't attend. But
yeah. Well, it's gonna be recorded. Tim and Lisa were telling me, and Nora, they were telling me that they had other commitments, so that's why I said that this was going to be recorded. Thomas thought the meeting was yesterday, and I confirmed it was today, and it did not show up, so I think he's expecting it to be tomorrow.
I just have one request. In the past, some of our things, in the very beginning when I first came to UStalk, some of our things were recorded, and I agreed to do a workshop a long time ago. and I was told that it would be strictly for in-house staff, only for our teachers, only for UStalk teachers.
Okay.
That ended up getting posted on YouTube for the whole public. Okay, so the whole public, and I never ever authorized my face be put on public YouTube. And I kind of mentioned it to Julie at the time.